Hi, this is Mia. This is Thursday morning, and I have lost all motivation. I was on a roll this week. I want to tell you, I feel like it was more like, maybe we'll just say about 2 weeks, about 1 to 2 weeks, that I did a lot of work for myself. And I was sick one day from eating some food, probably those stuff either from Trader Joe's or those cashews from Whole Foods. I don't know what. I gotta clean my dehydrator out, let's just say, because I don't know what happened. Anyways, and I'm gonna throw away these cranberries that I had since last year, since Thanksgiving or whatever. I'm so mad. Um, I was on a roll. I did a bunch of work for myself, which is why I have a career field, anyways. I took up the notary and loan signing agent while I was waiting, while I was waiting for my medical license to come in. They had all the, first of all, one of the ladies that was in charge of it didn't work there, and her email was still on the website. So I was asking her all these questions. I don't think I had a computer to work. I think I had to do the application from the library right before COVID. Like right March 2020. I remember being at the library because there was a 3D printer here, and I had the fingerprints done 30 minutes away. I was like 15-20 minutes away out of town, in a different town at the library, and I had to try to, I guess, look through my email or whatever for any documents I had to upload, and sit there in public and pay on my credit card in hopes that it went through. And I don't even know if I printed. I feel like I probably did print the page, because it was just a mess. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a printer. I had been using the printer to do any work or any forms or anything, or had to pay per page at the library. I did, even for my eBay store, I had to go to the library and print it up. So I ended up getting a printer. Something's wrong with that printer, by the way. It's like the worst printer, especially Brother. HP I used to get, they used to fall apart every year. But I had this old HP computer, and my iPad, I couldn't. I feel like I ended up getting, I don't know. We got an inkjet. I'm trying to work out, was that Staples or Walmart? I might have ordered it. I don't know where it came from. But ended up doing notary loan signing, so I need to get I end up with two laser monochrome. They're not the best. One leaves like a streak down the pages, which is awful when it's like a professional legal document. You don't want. It's not like a color streak, but it's like a groove. Ugh, it's so embarrassing. I'll see if I can fix that. I don't know how to use that dual tray, which I spent a buttload of money on. Used to be between $200 and $300. In a year or two, they've gone. Just the extra tray is like $300 or $400. Let's look it up. So I got really unmotivated and really anxious since yesterday, and I'm gonna say happy birthday to this buddy from the thing is about this person. Somebody on this meeting I was in just now, I'm trying to find their page. Looked like this person and had the same first name, last initial, and I was like, that reminds me of my friend from kindergarten. Like, oh, I didn't do the kapoo. I was letting you guys hear the kapoo. It's so unfair. Anyways, forget it. This person survived cancer. I don't know what type. And her sister died of cancer. She was younger than us in high school. I was varsity. Was I varsity or JV? I think there was only 2 teams. I was varsity volleyball team, and her sister was JV. And her sister had doing sit-ups, and she was having a backache. Took her to a doctor and found out she had cancer. And I don't know. So was I varsity? Because I didn't do senior year. I must have only done 1 year of varsity volleyball because we had a really racist coach. So maybe I was a junior. By the next year, her sister died right before graduation. And she was either 9th or 10th grade when she got diagnosed. I was devastated. I didn't know what to think. We had some deaths in the school district, about 1 a year, usually from car accidents. It's horrible for our children and parents, especially. I'm gonna cry. Okay, so I'm in recovery. I wanted to tell you guys that I told you that not many people watch my video. I would like to try to remember today to give you guys my email address to find out about the meetings that I attend online. I am still trying to figure out this town since COVID. There was meetings, and then there's a website you can go. Okay, let's just type in Google. We'll say NA. We'll say NA near me. I spelled me wrong. Okay, so I find it easier. I'm gonna cry again. Oh my god. I found it easier to share about my recovery because my medical license and my DEA certificate already has that information. Every time I get a job, fingerprints, licenses, medical licenses, certificates, sign up to take insurance, I disclosed that I got arrested in 1998. Was it 98 when my mother was dying? Okay, so I looked up meetings, produced 20 results. I just said NA near me. And so there's one at 9 on Sunday, 0.5 miles away. Discussion participation step working guide. These 2 are out of town. These are at a club. Mask required. So these are Sunday. Venue temporary closed. So there's one in Cambridge at the Recovery Wellness. Temporary closed. Another one in Cambridge, temporary closed. This one's virtual. They got the Zoom link from Queenstown. Excuse me. So I ought to find that out at 7 p.m. on, I think that's still Sunday. Am I on Sunday? Oh, I'm on Tuesday because I forget I'm in a small town. I'm used to Portland having so many. So there's a lot. Not a lot. There's looks like 1/5 of them are temporarily closed. And they're mostly at the same places. So they probably made an executive decision at that institution. There's a recovery club here in town. Right, it's in walking distance. I think I was gonna walk there once. Let's see what's today. Today's Thursday. So there's one at 8 p.m. So I'm actually finishing my Thursday meeting. There's one closed today. The other one's closed today. The 4th one is down the street from the other one. Looks like another club. There's 2 clubs down the street. I'm so confused about that. And that one's at 7:45. And then the other one is in another city. So there's 2 today, all day. 7:45 and 8. That's kind of weird. And they're both, we're in a small town. They're both on the same street, but one's on the east and others on the regular street. I don't even know where. I think I suspect where one is. It's down and up. And the other one, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure I could walk there. Last time I was going to walk there, I think it was going to take me 10, 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes. And the meeting was starting in 10. I should have just driven. You did hear me talk about virtual. You could probably stretch that was only 20 miles or whatever. You could stretch your miles, find a virtual meeting. Sometimes you could try early, like try before you really want to do it, in case they have a password that's not disclosed or a phone number to call. Occasionally, I don't really like it, but some of the meetings here, they're like, oh, do you recognize this person's name? Or they're saying, oh, if your friend wants to join, have them contact such and such and email them and say that they're coming in. I think you don't do that when you're in a room. Somebody comes in to a church or a building, it's open, you come in, you sit down, you join the group. You don't have to knock at the door and give a secret password. I understand that there's spammers and there's stuff they're trying to protect, or I guess if you're at a meeting and people could say, hey, we don't want you here, get out, or we're going to call security, or we're going to call the cops. The only other thing is, in the meeting they had some names they didn't recognize. Said, if that person's inappropriate, we shut the whole meeting down and everybody come back in. So they literally had a gatekeeper. I can see that protection. There's anonymity. There's and this, what I'm talking about is Al-Anon, by the way. So I'm not sure about this meeting because I do 24-hour. That's why I wanted to offer my email address. I'm not sure if you can message me. I'm not going to post it on there. And then for the AA, I did sign up for a Facebook group, and they do have, I believe, I don't know, some groups are groups from the meeting, and those, or just general recovery groups that you could find and enter without needing to be invited, that I've only tried not to do too much, so I get too much on my newsfeed, in general, not just recovery. They will have people that will put up flyers, virtual flyers that say support this group, or this one's celebrating a anniversary, or and they'll have a whole bunch of times and dates if it's a ongoing, and they'll have the link and the password or whatever. So I just want to throw that out there. There's a bunch of people that got clean and sober during the pandemic in 2020. There's a lot of people, unfortunately, that died. So I like to throw that out there sometimes because there's still suffering addicts, whether you're actively using or not actively using. I was in a group where people were trying to say not to use the word clean, but to use the word, I don't even know what they said, but I'm like, I don't have the literature in front of me, but I'm like, there's literature that's been written years ago, and because somebody's using doesn't necessarily, the opposite of clean is dirty. So it's like you could be like in active use or in recovery, inactive use, but the literature is written, and yeah, I can see what they're saying, but we don't say in the meaning that if you're still using that you're dirty. Like, I've never heard that said. Occasionally some meanings say if you're high right now, don't share, but I know there's a lot that don't say that, and that's not necessarily the group as a whole, the literature, that's those people's opinions. So if you don't like an opinion or group conscience, sometimes they'll make the meeting close. Sometimes they'll say no children. Sometimes it's women's only, men's only. If it's like that and a man comes in and oh, you can stay, but let me, if you need a meeting, but let's let you know that this is a woman's meeting. I've almost walked in to a men's meeting, or I thought I was in a men's meeting. I want to switch gears. Yesterday I was talking about some accounts with apps for investing, and I didn't post that video. I just want people to know that I am one of the most, my math is really bad. My economics class was really bad. My math is not bad. I stopped my regular math classes at calculus. I could have done Calc 2. I did continue and do statistics twice, and I wanted to actually do a little bit of more computer programming after stats on college level. I did a little bit of stats in medical school, but it wasn't the kind of stats that you want. The stats in med school and the research, that kind of math, you hear about the R naught and for COVID, that kind of like the p-values of studies and the 0.01, that kind of stuff is kind of like, it's even more confusing to me than like interest or compound interest. I only learned a little bit about that from listening to the Dave Ramsey classes at my old church, but that stuff is like kind of like an invisible thing, it's not like, hey, I'm gonna go make another one of these blankets and go sell it and trade it for silver or gold and then go invest that somehow, or go and get some land and some cows, like these tangible, even the gold, tangible things. So these digital things, like what happens if I lost my phone? Would I be able to access any of these apps? That's terrifying, and what happens if I die, or what happens if I end up mentally ill? I always say I need to get a will. I don't want to say I'm going to die today, but what if I go to a dental appointment and I bleed out, end up in the hospital, and people get on respirators or brain dead or induced comas, and even if it's for a day or a few hours, who's going to be able to go get my kids and access my money and take care of them and be able to feed them and pay my bills? And I was thinking about that in my early 30s, and I never did resolve that. In fact, I have some paperwork that I don't see. So there's different things. There's a lot of people that say money is the root of all evil. Some people say, oh, we don't believe in interest. We don't believe in life insurance. We don't believe in, insurance to buy a house. So we're just going to be in welfare housing the rest of our lives. Like, just different things. And I can understand, like, paying cash. And it's hard to see some people that are uneducated and have really low paying jobs. It's still on welfare, paying cash for houses and cars and anything that you need. Oh, this doctor's going to charge you $3,000 for a procedure. Here's the cash. No credit card, no debit card. Not even a credit card to say I'm going to buy something online and pay it off at the end of the month. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Somebody who didn't believe in credit had bought some furniture on credit, and something happened, they forgot to pay it or something in the collections, and they owed all this money on, it's a Muslim person, they owed all this money on interest. Like, I don't believe in interest. So they had collectors calling saying, they're saying, well, no one's going to steal my credit because I have bad credit, because I couldn't pay this bill. Hold on. And I swore that they said, oh yeah, that's why I'm wondering why we don't use iodine for the surgical instruments. Anyways, I was just thinking about something. I I think they said it was $4 or whatever. It was a few months ago, or whatever, in the past, and I thought they said it was like $14 a bottle. I don't know. Like, a lot of people are talking about the price of stuff going up, and I know we've been talking about this for. I mean, price of stuff went up. You saw price gouging last year, 2020. I keep saying last year. 2020, you obviously saw a price gouging and stuff getting taken off. I almost wanted to sell some masks. Whatever happened to those masks? I was about to sell some masks. Actually, when I heard about this pandemic, we went into a grocery store that I'd never, it's like a similar to Safeway. I don't like going to the store, but they did have the Crystal Geyser, and I went in there one day. I didn't like their produce because it was like often rotten, and there was no one to take the rotting stuff out. So I don't mind imperfect stuff, but I don't want stuff like completely rotting with mold and fruit flies contaminating the good stuff. Like you try to like see that at a store and pick around it. But if the whole thing is like that, it's like you can't pick around it. And you don't know who already picked. So you just have to be careful in general. But I don't, like I said, I don't mind imperfect. It's just very expensive store and very like, ever have it where you bought semi-green bananas? Or I used to buy yellow bananas and organic bananas, and I'd get home and they'd be browning already. I was like, it took me like from the time it was in the cart to the car at home, that's like 30 minutes. Like less than an hour, they already turned brown. And especially in the summer, I was like, that's weird. I need to get a little green on near the stem, which I don't necessarily like, but I'm not picking it from my tree and utilizing it fresh like that. Let's go back to the supply chain issues. I know there's certain stores like Giant, and there's other stores. I was looking at a little bit of this. I was also going to look at the hospitals. So if you're a birth worker like a doula or a support person for someone's birth, someone's saying that all the hospitals are closing. So let's say visitors. So sometimes a doula is not a visitor. I know I'm jumping around, but it's a little bit of like check-in. Okay, so I had seen a code for this local one. Let's see. Let me check that, make sure there's very similar. Um, there's one like less than a half a mile away, or maybe it's a half a mile away. I feel like it's code red is the worst, then orange and yellow, right? And probably code green. I swear they were on red, but it still said visitors. The coronavirus, what patients and communities need to know. So some instances, if you're having a baby in hospital, there's a partner or there's a person. Just they might say two support people, can be anyone. They could say one support person and a doula. They could say one support person or a or a doula. Oh, not both. And they might not let you switch out. Which before it's like, oh, you're at the birth 13 hours, 14 hours, you got to go, come back. Sometimes they're not letting people go to their cars. Like if you left something in the car, that I hate that. That happened to me in jury duty. They didn't give us any information. I was like, I left my phone in the car, and then I had to stick it on the table where anyone could steal it. I'm like, maybe I should have left it in the car. Visiting hours. I don't even know. Oh yeah, that's support with. Um, let's just click on the one near here. Code red, extremely limited visitation. So you want to click on labor and delivery. There's different. So labor and delivery, all laboring patients, including those suspected or confirmed to have COVID, are allowed to have one care partner, which may be their partner or another designated person, such as a birth coach or doula. So that's changed. I looked at this like 2 days ago, and I swore it said, it must have been on a code orange. It's got or in bold and underlined. One care partner. So they're designating all laboring patients, including those suspected of COVID. So they're not, if you have COVID, they're not blocking your support person. But I've heard also if your client has COVID, you're not going to leave the room. And some people said they couldn't get food and that the staff was gone. They can't leave the room. We were always told when we went to births, don't use the client's bathroom. Or we went to births as naturopath midwives. We didn't use their bathroom. We went down the hall, so that's kind of weird. So then it says care partners should not eat or drink inside patients' rooms or other patient care areas. Care partners not at the bedside may not wait in common areas. So this goes on and on and on and on. So someone dying can have up to 3 partners and maximum of 9. So that was different during 2020. I don't know about this hospital. So I did not realize that the code red was saying only 1 care partner or doula. The heck, man? Well, I just emailed them. So I mean, when I knew I didn't have my other job, I was on a roll. I was like trying to speculate when someone's gonna have a baby, so I could do some loan signing in between. So I was tired of like waiting, and then sometimes not being called. So the one that's up the street about a half an hour is also on a code red. I feel like they might have the same policy. Yeah, so that's creepy. Alright, so there's another facility that's an hour away. So I was gonna look and see what the code orange. We must have had code orange 2 days ago, because I swore when I saw this. So you gotta check that every day. So I'm gonna go to this other hospital system. Peninsula. And to go to website. And to see, I don't know if you look up COVID, visitation. Changes starting December 27th. And those are changes. So they have a no visitor policy will include, exceptions to no visitor policy, end of life, disabled, labor and delivery. So this one, general one says support person, designated person, as well as a doula who has been through the approval process. So I got approved for that. So masks, not gaiters or bandanas. And then I don't see, that was from 2 weeks ago. So I don't see if they have a code. Let's see visit. It says visitation changes. I don't see any codes, colors. Let's say visitor. See if anything else pops up. Because I feel like they could really look pretty. So this one says PRMC, but changes by the governor. Oh, this is from 2020. So anyways, look at that. People are saying, people are having babies in and out of hospitals. They're doing planned home births. There's birth centers. People are having accidents. They're accidents. They didn't expect it. People are having conditions, strokes, heart disease, heart issues, other issues where they go in the hospital, choking, skateboarding, accident. Someone broke their leg and messed up their body, sledding. Young person, and so they're gonna go in the hospital. They're gonna go to emergency. They could go to urgent care, long waits. I actually do emergency medicine in my clinic. I haven't had anyone. I've had people hire me for internal stuff like GI stuff, but not wound care or. I mean, I could. In fact, I should contact the pharmacy, and I could call the pharmacy and have some medical equipment, like wraps and splints and stuff, and I can have that in my office. But if I'm doing telehealth, I would be able to do a workup, follow up if they had a different doctor that they could see, say, next Wednesday, but they need to see somebody now. I'm not saying like they're having a heart attack or they're having appendicitis. And of course, they will be told to go or call 911 go to the emergency room. If they have a sprain or something and they don't have to stand up or work, then I would tell them to go to urgent care. But if they're not able to get in with or without appointment, then they need to be able to have a provider. Besides just everyone can use Dr. Google, but to have somebody say, hey, this is really something you need to look at, because most of those people writing that information, I mean, you can get some medical facilities writing articles on wound care and bee stings and stuff like that, but a lot of times it's not necessarily just a straight up doctor that's going to be really detailed about all the stuff, because then you'd end up, for every condition, it'd be like medical school. It'd be 5 to 10 years of information that you need to learn to cover the bases, and even then stuff changes daily. I'm going to go into the supply chain. There's different stores that are running low because their factories or their packaging centers are shut down. There's places that have the truck drivers. Some truck drivers are saying, I have no deliveries. I've been waiting 2-3 days and nobody's got anything to put in the truck. And they're saying there's no shortages. We're waiting around. I mean, they're like, I'm able and ready to work. So that could be a specific thing. I did read something about them trying to import people to work the jobs that we're not working, hospital jobs, different jobs. I'm really mad about it because I'm able to do the top of the top at a hospital or urgent care center or medical clinic. I mean, I own my own. I work alone. I could do every job except for major organ surgery, which is interesting that I can't even get a job there. I'd have to apply for a job as a housekeeping or food delivery or food prep and dishwashing, toilet cleaning, not even like a certified nurse, midwife, or a medical assistant. I've done phlebotomy for years, IV therapy for years, push and drip, suturing, and just general medicine where you know about medication. So unfortunately, I'm going to be going to my job picking up trash for the county off the ground without any PPE provided, and then I'm going to need to, go and freaking not get a job at the hospital. They're going to import people. I don't mind them importing people. I just wish that they would. I mean, I even volunteered to do medical work. I'm a medical volunteer for the state. I signed up March 2020, and I never got called in, not even once. There was a deploy a couple times, and I don't know what happened to that deployment. It got canceled. What they did is they hired people instead of volunteers. They actually hired people and paid them to do the work. So it's like I begged to help in this crisis. I was really scared to get called in March, April, May of 2020. I was really scared of getting sick and abandoning my children even more. But things happen for a reason, and I've always, every time they said, are you still active, a lot of people only want you to do it in the middle of COVID, and I said, yeah, I'm still active. So let's look it up, and then I'm going to go take a break and start some laundry. I was going to sign up for one on the other coast. They needed some people doing vaccines in Washington State, but I was like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I keep checking my emails too, because I'm looking for whether or not our meetings are going to be virtual or hybrid. And I voted too late. I thought my other meeting was yesterday, so no, they didn't respond. We did get our mail. I saw a different mail carrier yesterday, so I was really stoked that they delivered it right. So I'm going to do mail response core. I might not even be active. I think there was like a class or something. I'm like really paranoid to look at. I did apply for the jobs that they had. Oh my god, there's a bunch of emails that I didn't get. Yesterday at 3, anti-human trafficking. Updated Heart Association training. I didn't get any of these messages. So it says I'm active. Last logged in 3/7/2020. Oh, this must be for the classes. 2020, 3/7. Did you just hear what I just said? I didn't even remember signing up. So they sent a letter yesterday. I can't even read these emails. I don't understand what's wrong with this website. Okay, so this recognizing human trafficking. I'm gonna look at this. I never got any of these emails. That happened to me once before. I feel like, is this the actual site, or is this the site for, you had to take a bunch of courses and upload documents? I didn't upload my severe weather, tidal, coastal flowing, isn't it supposed to be flooding? Flowing, and then flooding, and then tornado. Oh, that's in October. Okay, so let's go to home. It has a big list of all the stuff that I'm supposed to do. Your profile is 99% complete. Deployment period current. I don't have any. You know, my boyfriend was getting the emails. I swear, he was getting these emails, and there was like time-sensitive ones. See, I don't know. I need to upload like my my CPR. Identity incomplete. So I gotta change my address. If you ever move, it makes it easy to not ever want to move because of this. 158 pounds. Oh, good grief. 175. Changing it all. T-shirt size. 1X. Okay. I don't know why they need my weight, but... Alright, so I changed my address. And then... I belong to... So documents, let's see if they could use... I have my CPR... Oh, these are just their documents. So, my documents. No results. Okay. So at least I updated. I just have a spreadsheet for my business for any companies that I was associated with, and that was on my really old computer or a external hard drive where it didn't save the folders, the subfolders. Real headache. Ooh. So to start some laundry, I'm really torn right now because I lost all the motivation to do anything because of knowing that I'm going to be spending in about an hour or two. I'm going to leave and go to this other job, go get gas, go get my $30-something worth of gas, go work this other job where I'm basically doing routine drive to sites and fixing the trash problem, I guess. Taking out trash. There's someone else that's supposed to take out the trash. Last year, I go check the trash every day, and it's like I had the way I tie a knot in the trash bag, and it would be like 2-3 weeks would go by, and it's like 2 other people were supposed to they're like paid to take out the trash, and they didn't do it, and I'm just like, I don't know, stuff out the bathrooms. They say if it's a mess, oh, someone's supposed to be there. But if it's a major mess, I try to tidy up. Not necessarily sterilize it and scrub it, but just like get it so that for the next hour or two till I get there, it'll be, okay to use for the customers. It gives me a headache. I just like this lady, these two ladies down the street from here where I had my medical office. I felt my peace get ripped out of my heart. And this is how I feel with this job. I'm not lying to you. This is it shut down my wanting to do billing. It shut down my wanting to do my step work. It shut down me accepting loan assignments. I mean, you can't accept loan if someone's going to pay me $100 or $200 for a loan signing, but I have to go work for $65 and spend the whole day and after dark there. I'm not going to have time to do it before or after work, and that's another thing. With the drive, it's hard to try to drive there and spend the $30-something of gas every 2 days to come back and try to shove in the loan signing here, then go to work, then go home exhausted. Forget that you need to scan the stuff before you go to work. That's what I did last weekend. Go take it to FedEx before you go to work. And just like, it was right before holidays, and I didn't do the paper that I needed to do for my what was I talking about? The power of attorney paperwork that I needed notarized. And it's just like, no. And it's like, there's people that you see on YouTube that make money from YouTube. And they legit, they are the people that, people are saying they made $45,000 just on that, plus $400,000 selling online. Probably to the people that they made the videos for, like those same people. I know some offhand, you could just click on their link and go buy their stuff. Or go to their store in person. Or buy bulk, buy hundreds of dollars of stuff at a time. They buy it bulk, bump up the price, sell it to me bulk. After they take the good stuff out. That's how they do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's keeping it out of landfill, but I got a lot of junk going around this world, and I can look around and see a little bit of stuff that's resold or used. Ooh, nothing. That piece of furniture right there. So I'm torn between trying to go. My water last week was like 80 something cents to $1 per gallon, and now it's about $1.26 at least 2-3 days ago. It's made my mouth swell. I just bit my side of my mouth. Do I go get water? Do I wait for it to go? I mean, I might as well shop at a gas station. Or is it gonna go up to $2.99 per gallon? What's the point of buying water when it costs the same as gas, Well, I can sit at home and go to work and work virtually and not use gas, but I've been getting sick from the tap water since since the 90s, actually. Grew up on a well, my digestive system, C-section baby, a lot of antibiotics. I got spoiled on well water and a family who was really clean in the kitchen. So I didn't have like a lot of flora to fight off the stuff, the little critters and the chemicals that are in. Don't believe you me, nobody wants to spend half their year's paycheck on bottled water. I have a little Berkey filter. I keep thinking about my hair being so brittle. And thinking about the water not having a filter, that really irritates me. So what I want to say is that I'm hesitant on going back with my credit card. Today's the 13th, my credit card bill is due, so I gotta throw down $1,000 for that. But to rack up anything else, and to, this is so painful just to even talk about, guys. Just to rack, like I'm stress eating right now. I just feel like bursting in tears. I was on a roll, and I'm gonna go to the job my mind's like, you can think while you're driving and this and this and this. I don't even think about driving. It's people driving crazy around. You're not just on the road by yourself. You still have to watch out for animals and falling trees and power lines and wind blowing you around. But there's something about being at home and meditating, cleaning and thinking about, oh, I gotta make this phone call. Oh, I gotta go fill out this form. Oh, I gotta get here before 4. Oh, I gotta go stock up on this shelf-stable product before the price triples in a week. I mean, you can't do that when you're on the clock. So when I was talking about people that work from home, or resellers, or YouTubers, or any of those Instagram people, or whatever, people learn to do something that still work, but on their own terms. And the majority of people that I know will say, why don't you just get a job? And it's like, my job pays me this much. My self-employment pays me this much. If I work my self-employment for the same amount of time. So people are really socially accepting that low-paying job, and they're putting me in a place where I have no value. My work, my attendance. One of the guys I work with didn't even notice that I was at work all last year. And that guy I never saw out in the field. He was out playing somewhere. He was supposed to do all these different things. They didn't get done. Unless the supervisor was, following him, and then he's always the hero. It's when he actually gets followed and, oh yeah, he went and did all this and got all this equipment and fixed this, and what a hero, Or he met with some contractor, and I go and they tell me to go meet with a contractor, and I go meet with them there. Oh, we have already been helped. We don't need your help. I'm like, well, I guess they just had me as a backup. I mean, it's not like, it's like you kind of want to try to feel like a hero or feel like you're worth more than just picking up hypodermic needles and tampon applicators off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, I'm my doctor. Also, I attend births. So it's not saying that poopy stuff doesn't happen, but you can choose whose poo-poo is going to be around, I mean, you can't really choose, but that's your choice. Yeah, when you took that job and you knew what you're getting into, versus other jobs where they tell you what the job's going to be like, and then you find out that it's not what you signed up for. Hold on a second.